What's the link between Lord Nelson and the best castle ever built by a Welshman? Hi everyone, we're back in Raglan and this is Raglan Castle, and today we're going to take you on a tour of this place.
Whoa, here we are at Raglan Castle, and look at that. The flag isn't flying very well today because there is very little breeze, but there are very few clouds. The sun is shining. I think we're in for a good visit. Come on, let's go and see what this is like inside. How about this for a grand entry? I don't know if you can see, but there are gargoyles up the top. Some gorgeous work. Look at those stones. And I think we need to go in. Oh, this is exciting. I feel so grand. I can imagine riding up here on my horse, saying, "Let me in, I've come to see the king."
One of the interesting things about this castle is it has a fairly unique look because of the arrangement around the top, which looks so pretty, but it has a practical purpose because they actually installed those arrangements at the top so that they could shoot arrows and drop missiles on any attackers that came towards this gateway. So it looks beautiful now, but it wouldn't have looked so good if you were trying to get in and they didn't want you to back in the day.
Well, be careful then everyone. Try to avoid those arrows. In we go. Oh, so much to see. Which way should we go first? We'll go right. Let's have a look in here. Oh, this is lovely. Look at the stonework. There you can see those castellations with the holes in and the gargoyles. I love all the different colours of stone too. It's only a slight, subtle difference, but it's interesting. And then with a bit of sunlight shining in as well, it just adds another shade. Oh, look, there's a little door going down. Oh, it's dark. Should we go down? What do you think, Phil? Do you think that's safe to go down?
Well, there's only one way to find out. And I'm much better at going down than I am at going up.
Right, we'll go down then. Be careful everyone, these steps are huge. It's still dark down there. There are no automatic lights coming on.
No, there's not.
Whoa, I don't think you can see anything. Right, so this is the view. Are you all loving this view? There are the steps we came down. And here we've got a window. I assume this was the dungeon. Aha, Phil's got his torch on. So there we go, that's the walls, and then up is the ceiling, which they've covered in white paint, which is a formality because it's still dark down here. So I'll turn around. As soon as it's very far from Phil's torch, you lose all view, but it's the same sort of thing. So I think we'll go back up because that's not really very informative, is it? Let's see what's in here. Oh, this is quite habitable. It's got some chairs for me to have a rest if I need one. Oh, look at the fireplace. Oh, I love that. Can you imagine if that was roaring with logs? It would be much warmer than it is now. I'm freezing in here. And of course we have to look out of the window. What can we see? Well, you can see the visitor centre today, but this would have been a great vantage point to see right over to the distant hills. Do you reckon this door opened? Shall we have a look? Oh, look what's in here. I think that was probably the toilet. You can see the ceiling there's got little steps, and that's the bottom of the stairs that are going up. So, oh, look at this. We're in the main courtyard now, and look at those windows. absolutely gorgeous and rather large. You can see the sunshine over there. It's lovely in the sunshine today. Oh, these cobbles are very difficult to walk on. Very uncomfortable. I certainly wouldn't be wanting to ride a horse on them. I wouldn't want my horse falling over when I was sat on his back. Well, I wouldn't want my horse falling over anyway. That would be really cruel, wouldn't it? Oh, look at this. Let's go inside. It doesn't really feel inside. It feels outside because of all the windows being gone and doors and any sign of furnishings. Oh, oh, look at that. Now, unfortunately, it doesn't go anywhere. If it did, I'd take you up there. But no, it's just a hole going nowhere. On that side, it goes up to a window. But I want to see what's in there. Ooh, let's go have a look. Oh, this is so exciting. Oh, look at this. Whoa, look at that fireplace. Okay, Phil the inventor, what have you got?
This is definitely not one of my inventions. It looks like something I might knock up in the shed, but this is the ancient answer to the microwave. Because you've got a mirror, a magnifier, candles on each side, a rotating dish, and there's your snack, and it's an oven of sorts, a snack heater.
Oh, let's have a look. Oh, there's your fish. Is he real? He does look very realistic. I went to tap him and thought, what if he is real? He's not. He's metal. And this spins. Doesn't spin very well, but I think it possibly used to go all the way around at some point. Here's the candle. And the light is reflected in the mirror, so the reflected light and the light of the candle and the heat go through the magnifying glass onto your special plate, and you've got 3 times the power.
It's set on a cartwheel, look.
And that spins, and now we can see what's happening. Phil is spinning the wheel and the dish is turning. Well, there you go. If you're a bit handy in your shed and you want to make yourself a microwave or a speedy cooker compared to cooking it on an open fire, there's your answer. Right, there's a very tall doorway. We definitely need to go in and see what's going on in here. Oh, look! Can you see the fireplaces? Wow! Where the floors are missing, and look how high those ones are. And funnily enough, they're actually the prettiest ones at that height. It's a little bit more basic when you come down to the next floor. And there are no fireplaces on the bottom floor. So if you happen to be working in this room, then that wasn't much fun in the winter. And this is the serving passage. So if you had to carry things down this passage in the winter, it would have been very cold. It's a shame we can't get up to that level and go have a look through there. Oh, I love little nooks and crannies and secret passages. Look at this post seat with these weird cuff things. Come on, Phil, give us an example of what you do in that chair. In you get.
Not quite sure. I see a notice and it says it's called a capturing chair.
Right, so put your arms in the little capture-y bits. Let's capture you. There we go. You can't get out of there, can you?
I'm thinking when I sit down, the other back, I think that is supposed to trigger those.
Ah, yes.
That's what I'm thinking, is as you sit down, then you're caught on them. Exactly why they had one of these, I'm not sure. Perhaps it was when they brought in guests that weren't too welcome. I'm not absolutely certain, but it's certainly an interesting recreation of something they believe was once used at the castle.
And this I'm going to show my complete ignorance. I'm assuming is Latin. You wouldn't believe I did 2 years of Latin, would you? Oni swat qui me y pense? Pense? No idea. But I think here sits who something and thinks. I'll put it up on the screen, the proper translation, and we will find out how I'm horribly wrong with what that says. Look at this huge window. Now that is what I call a bay window. I want one. The thing is, it's taller than my house, so it would stick out the top like a tower. And look, you can see the sky. And that would have been your view. Aha, another door. That's it, we have to go down. It's the law. Let's go and explore. Sorry if it's a bit bumpy. I'm trying my best, but it's very difficult not to have the camera wobble. That's without the shivering. I'm so cold. I forgot my gloves. So I've got very cold hands. Oh, this isn't so dark down here. Let's have a look. Much more hospitable. Well, I wouldn't go as far as saying hospitable, but much less inhospitable. Let's have a look in here. Aha, there's another device. Let's go see what this does. Or contraption or invention.
I call it an invention. First thing to note is it's got a lovely carved, well, forged head here, which looks like possibly a dragon. Like the dragon's head. Here's your pump. Here are your pitchers ready to serve. Here's your barrel. Now, if I turn.
Oh, look at that. Is that clever or what? You can fill your glasses or your jugs or your pitchers or whatever you got there. Very clever. And look at how smoothly that runs. And it hits the right spot every time. Oh, I am impressed.
And I'm exhausted.
Oh, you poor thing. Another room. Ooh, lots of pedals. And does this go anywhere? No, it's just a small room with a medium-sized window. So I don't think it was a dungeon or anything. But the rest is very dark. I think we need to go back up that way and carry on looking in the daylight. Here's quite a long area here, and this is the long gallery up the top. You can see they've got some lovely carving up there. It was probably quite impressive, and imagine the view from that window. There's not even a window, let alone a view at the moment, because we can't get up there. But we do have another doorway to explore. As you can hear, people are starting to gather now. The day is going on and people are coming to enjoy Raglan Castle. So there will be a little bit of extra noise. And this looks very tower-like, very rounded. And there you can see a better view. There's the long gallery up there. And I think that must have been of a fireplace. If you see, there's a big carving one side, nothing the other, but the gap there. So, yep, I'm going for a very posh fireplace.
As we walk around Raglan Castle, I can see why it has been described as not only the last of the true castles of Wales, but also the greatest castle ever built by a Welshman. His name was Sir William ap Thomas, also known as the Blue Knight of Gwent. Fought alongside the king at Agincourt, and that gave him notoriety, fame, and the wealth and the power to create a castle of this stature. It is a symbol of power and presence on the landscape, and the grand yellow tower, as it was known, could be seen for miles around. The castle was built long after much of the castle building of Wales. It was in the 1430s that it began. And this place has stood proud in the landscape and still looks glorious today, but it really fell during the Civil War, as did so many castles. Yes, the longest siege, 800 men to defend it, but ultimately it went the same way as so many and became the ruin that we are able to enjoy today.
And there goes an aeroplane, and there is the grand staircase. So let's go see why this is so grand. Up we go. Imagine yourself in full regalia walking up here to do whatever it is they do up here. Let's go have a look. Right, here's the doorway. Here are some stairs. They're a little precarious, so be careful everyone. Don't want anybody falling. Ooh. It's a bit dark, but I can see the light coming. Oh, I'm quite out of puff. Can you see how steep these steps are? And this is what I love. If we look at those steps, look at the wear on those. from thousands and thousands of footsteps landing on them. And then look at the view. Whoa, that is so lovely and so green. You can see the Sugarloaf Mountain over in the distance, but we can go up even further. Oh, if we have the energy, let's keep going. And here we are at the top. We've got a fireplace. Okay, let's have a look, see if we can see daylight. I'm going to turn you over. Yep, there's the sky. And look at the view.
On our last visit to Raglan, when we made the video, few people mentioned in the comments that they had seen items of clothing with the word Raglan. And that is because of something that's known as the Raglan sleeve. And it was the first Baron of Raglan that gave his name to a particular sleeve because of an injury that he received. He was at the Battle of Waterloo in 1815. He was an aide to Wellington, and in that battle he lost an arm. So he had a coat designed with a special sleeve, and that design has continued to this day to be known as the Raglan sleeve, and is therefore something you may see while out having a look around in the shops. So there we are, folks. That's the connection between fashion and Raglan.
And just to show you, that is not a Raglan sleeve. This jumper has got a Raglan sleeve, and you can see here, instead of the sleeve coming to there and stopping, sorry about the airplane, it keeps coming up and up and up, and it joins right at the shoulder here and comes down in this shape and into the sleeve. And there is the noisy plane, as you can hear. Being under a flight path, this is a very noisy castle, but I do have to say, I think this is going to be one of the absolute don't miss this castle places. We've been to a few castles in Wales now, and nothing has come close to this one for me. It's all personal, but I think this is the best. But then again, there are a lot more to see yet. We'll take you around them as time goes by. Ooh, more doorways. Let's have a look in here. Oh, I love these signs. If you walk down here and don't duck, you're going to go, ow, my head. So duck, everyone. Let's have a look in here. Oh, I'm not going down that last step. It's about 18 inches high. But this has got a wonderful ceiling. Look at the curve on that. You can see all the water dripping through. And then there's just a dirt floor. So I would say, if the arch is going there and hitting that wall, do you think it comes down the other side? Let's go have a look. So this door is the other side. Now we're going to go through here. Oh, there's some steps. And some pigeons. Hello, Mr. Pigeon. Would you like to be on YouTube? No, the pigeons are shy. Aye, now that's interesting. The arch doesn't continue on. It hits the flat wall and then the arch changes direction and goes at 90 degrees. Excuse me, could you be quiet, Mr. Pigeon? So where does this go? There are so many tunnels and turnings. Aha, now this is going right back to next door to the grand staircase. I recognise this bit. And another door. Ah, now this seems to be the other side of the little room we were in with the arched ceiling, because there's another arched ceiling. Right, we better go find Phil. Up here are the private apartments, or should I say were the private apartments. So let's go in and have a look. This is a very big step. Well, I would describe that more as a wall. Right, we can't get into the private apartments from here. And it's a long way down there and very dark. You can see evidence of pigeons down there. I think the pigeons are very at home in this castle. You can see up there, there's some sort of lime rendering. At one point this was all rendered, so this was definitely not a scruffy area or just a place where they kept the servants. This would have been done up very nicely. And here we are in the south gate. Now this would have been a lovely entrance to use, and definitely a lovely exit, because you'd walk out of the gate and you'd see that view. Isn't that lovely? And there you can see the moat. Up these steps because they lead to the flag tower, and we can go up the flag tower. Right, we're inside the tower. I think we can walk up. Ooh, look at that. There's a hole there. And another plane. That sounds like a Cessna. Up we go. Ooh, more holes. Oh, I hope this staircase is safe. That one's been repaired with a bit of concrete. And here's a window. We're not at the top yet. Let's look out of the window. Yep, in the distance there goes the Cessna. And let's keep climbing. Up, 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 up. Are you out of puff yet? I am. Are you okay?
Yeah.
Poor Phil. He doesn't take heights very well. I forgot about him. I've been rushing on.
I don't like the gaps.
No, they're very big.
Yeah, the holes under the stairs, that's just making it a bit wobbly.
You don't look like a confident man.
No, it's not my favourite pastime. I do cellars much better than I do towers. But it's worth a climb, I'm sure.
Well, we're still not at the top. That aeroplane still hasn't gone over. Can't see it. Can you see it? I think it's the other side. More pigeons. And look down there. Don't you look down here, Phil?
I'm not.
It's a long way down.
I'm not looking down.
What's funny is that little circle of stones makes it draw you in. It almost feels weird. Are you finding that? Very strange. Right. Onward. And very slowly upwards. We can do it. Come on. It's a final push. We're nearly there. I hope there's an oxygen cylinder at the top I could do with one. And here we are, we made it, well done. We've got a mini weather station here, and such a fabulous view. You can probably hear the road, the A40, over in the distance. And over there-ish is Raglan town, where we're going later to buy another sausage roll. So there's one more section of the castle to explore over there. It's quite a tall bit, but it's still below us. You can tell how high we've climbed. You can also tell how high we've climbed by Phil's expression.
So, I'm holding on to the flagpole.
Look at that man. So brave.
Thing is, as we walked in through the entrance and I looked up and explained about those beautiful adornments on the top of that tower, it looked a long way up. But now we're looking down on that, so this is a long way up.
Not as far up as the flag.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to be the man who has to polish the little brass bauble on the top of that flagpole.
As with every castle, full of history. History of battles. We've heard of the links to Agincourt and the links to Waterloo. There was even a prince raised here who then went on to become King Edward VII, ruling in Britain. So it's got such ties to royalty and battles and all the rest. But what is that link between Raglan Castle, 20th century and 21st century ruins, and Lord Nelson, who was the great maritime hero of this land? And on this occasion, it's a big thank you to M. Terry Lane, one of our followers, who drew to my attention this link. Because there was a lady by the name of Anna Tribe. She passed away in 2020, lived here in Raglan, was a guide here in the castle, and an excellent one at that. She not only took tours through the castle, but wrote a very definitive guide of the castle as well. And she was the great-great-great-granddaughter of Lord Nelson. Yes, born in London in September of 1929, Anna grew up there until she was 10 years of age. Then her family, with the beginning of war, moved to the grandparents' house here at Raglan, where her grandfather was the warden of this castle. He was a direct descendant of the 5th Earl of Beaufort. So this lady had a lot of ancestry connections, and she also served the local community. She was a Justice of the Peace for 26 years. She was the Vice President, lifelong, of the Nelson Appreciation Society, or the Nelson Society. She earned an OBE, Order of the British Empire, in the 1980s for her service to politics and the community here in Wales. So there's the connection, folks. A lady of the 20th and 21st century who links this castle to Lord Nelson.
You remember that nursery rhyme? Come into my parlour, said the spider to the fly. Well, this is the parlour. Well, it was the parlour, and upstairs was the dining room with more great views. And another noisy aeroplane. Phew. And there is the flag tower that we just went up. Right, so let's have a look in here. And even though the noise of the plane can be a little bit irritating, when you think a castle was never a serene place like this, there was hustle and bustle, people everywhere, shouting and yelling, things banging and clanging. So I suppose this is more realistic. Now this here, I think, has been filled in. That looks as if it's a new addition. Maybe you used to be able to go up there. Maybe not. And that doesn't seem to go anywhere. Oh, the engine just cut on the aeroplane. Now don't panic. We used to live near an airfield, and quite often they would, when they were training pilots, make them turn off their engine so they knew how to restart a stalled airplane in the sky. So I'm hoping that plane starts going again. It will do. So let's have a look at this fireplace. No, you can't see the sky through this one as well. They must have had very curly, bendy chimneys in this castle. And what have we got here? Oh, look, here's a stack of books. They're stopping you getting up the steps, but they're also very pretty. It's very Harry Potter-esque, isn't it? There we go. And as you can hear, the pilot has just started his aeroplane engine again. Always comforting. You know it's coming. We've never yet heard one doing a test stall and not restart their engine. There goes another aeroplane. And upstairs here, obviously the floor is gone, so where the floor would have been was the library. And you can see huge windows up there to let lots of light in for reading. And as usual, some fireplaces and some windows. And there again is a wonderful shot of those gargoyles.
Well, we've had a fantastic day. Just to think, last week we were rained off and the storms were blowing, and today, November sunshine. Yes, a little bit cold on the fingers, but beautiful when you're standing in the sun. Hope you've enjoyed this tour of Raglan Castle. It is well worth a visit. If you have, please give us a thumbs up. Share it with all your friends. That would be great. But most of all, till the next time we're out and about, don't forget, have fun. Bye.
Bye.